Ever wonder why, while modern engines need repairs at 100,000 miles, some old engines keep running past 1 million miles like new? Or why a Chrysler V8-powered police cars, taxis, and work trucks run for 36 years straight? These 12 engines aren't just tough, they're practically the most indestructible engines ever built. Machines so tough, they've become true automotive legends. Number 12. Volkswagen 1.9 TDI ALH. The Volkswagen 1.9 TDI with the ALH engine code might be the best small car diesel ever built. This four-cylinder turbo diesel debuted in 1998 and changed the game, delivering 50 miles per gallon while lasting 500,000 miles or more. The secret was simplicity. It used mechanical direct injection instead of electronics, a basic turbo with no variable geometry, and a bulletproof Bosch rotary injection pump. The head was cross-flow with solid lifters, no fragile hydraulics, and the bottom end was massively overbuilt for its modest power output. Owners became fanatics. Forums are full of mileages: 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, even 600,000 miles. These engines simply don't quit. Maintenance was minimal, oil changes and a timing belt every 90,000 miles, and they'd keep running. Fuel economy was just as legendary. Highway trips could see 60 miles per gallon, with city driving still above 40. And remember, this was 20 years ago, long before hybrids running only on mechanical efficiency. Volkswagen ended production in 2003 due to emissions rules, but ALH owners treat their cars like gold. Nothing since has matched this engine's mix of durability, economy, and simplicity. For many, it remains the ultimate small car diesel. Number 11. Ford 300 inline-six. The Ford 300 inline-six is the cockroach of engines. It simply refuses to die. Built from 1965 all the way to 1996, this 4.9-liter straight-six powered trucks, vans, and even a few cars for 31 years with barely any changes. Why? Because it was nearly perfect from day one. The magic isn't in big horsepower. At best, it made around 150 horsepower, but it'll make that power forever. The secret is durability. 7 main bearings support the crankshaft, so it doesn't flex, doesn't break, and a gear-driven valve train. No timing chain, no belt, nothing to wear out quickly. Just gears that take decades to show any real wear. Farmers loved it, contractors trusted it, and UPS ran thousands of them in delivery trucks. These engines routinely racked up 300,000, 500,000, even 700,000 miles on original internals. Transmissions failed, trucks rusted away, but the 300 just kept going. When a work truck was retired, the engine often lived on, sold to a new owner, beat on for another 100,000 miles, then shipped south of the border for even more service. Simply put, the Ford 300 wasn't just reliable, it was unstoppable. Number 10. Honda K-Series. The Honda K-Series might be the newest engine on this list, but it's already a legend. Launched in 2001 with the K20, Honda proved a four-cylinder could rev to 8,000 RPM, make 200 horsepower, and still last 250,000 miles with just basic maintenance. What makes the K-Series special? Smart, simple engineering. Dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, and VTEC, but not the overly complicated kind. This VTEC actually works, giving strong top-end power without sacrificing reliability. The bottom end is bulletproof too. Stock internals easily handle 300 horsepower, and tuners have pushed 400 plus without failure. That's insane durability. But you don't even need to modify it. Stock, the K-Series is smooth, efficient, reliable, and just plain fun. Honda dropped it into everything: Civic, Accord, CR-V, Element, and Acura's TSX, and every single one benefited. The star of the lineup is the K2082 from the Civic Type R, 212 horsepower from just 2 liters with an 8,000 RPM redline. But even the grocery getter K20A3 in a CR-V runs forever, sips fuel, and starts every time. The ultimate proof? The swap community. Enthusiasts put K-Series engines into anything with wheels because they deliver Honda reliability with real performance. Number 9. Mercedes-Benz OM617. The Mercedes OM617 might be the toughest engine ever put in a passenger car. Built from 1974 to 1991, this 5-cylinder diesel was so overbuilt, it became legendary for million-mile durability. And yes, some have gone even further. It's a 3-liter naturally aspirated diesel making just 79 horsepower or 123 horsepower with a turbo. Not much on paper, but power was never the point. The point was that this engine could outlast you, your kids, and maybe even your grandkids. The secret is in the construction. The block is thick cast iron. The head is aluminum with pre-combustion chambers. Old school but effective. Fuel delivery comes from a mechanical Bosch injection pump that's nearly indestructible. And the camshaft, gear-driven. No belts, no chains, just gears that wear so slowly you'll never replace them. In Africa and the Middle East, the OM617 is a legend. Taxis rack up over 2 million kilometers and keep running. The sound, that clattering 5-cylinder diesel, isn't pretty, but it's the sound of immortality. These engines are so tough that when cars rust away, people reuse them in boats, generators, even other cars. Many OM617s are still running today, long after their original owners are gone. Number 8. Toyota 22RE. The Toyota 22RE might be the most reliable 4-cylinder engine ever built. From 1985 to 1995, it powered millions of Toyota pickups and 4Runners. And decades later, those trucks are still everywhere, still running, still working. Why? Because the 22RE just doesn't quit. It's a simple 2.4-liter single overhead cam 4-cylinder with 2 valves per cylinder, making 116 horsepower. Not much, but it'll make that power forever. The bottom end is massively overbuilt. The double-row timing chain is nearly unbreakable, and the electronic fuel injection is basic but flawless. What makes it legendary is how it handles abuse. Desert heat, mountain climbs, river crossings, overloaded beds, zero maintenance, doesn't matter. The 22RE just keeps going. 300,000 miles, that's barely broken in. 400,000, still running. 500,000, no problem. The engine is the reason Toyota trucks built their cult following. Owners refuse to get rid of them because nothing else matches the reliability. That's why clean late 80s Toyota pickups with the 22RE now sell for $20,000 for a 35-year-old truck. And in developing countries, the story continues. 22REs power trucks, boats, generators, and water pumps. Because when you absolutely need something to run, you choose the Toyota 22RE. Number 7. Chrysler 318 LA. The Chrysler 318 doesn't get the respect it deserves, and that's a crime. It's not a Hemi, not a big block, not even the high-performance 340 or 360. It's just a plain 5.2-liter V8, but Chrysler built it from 1967 all the way to 2003. A 36-year run that proves one thing: this engine was unkillable. Part of the LA series, the 318 was the middle child, bigger than the 273 but smaller than the 340 and 360. That balance turned out to be perfect. Big enough to make solid power, small enough to be completely unstressed. It powered everything from Dodge Darts to Ram trucks to motorhomes, and it just ran forever. The secret was simplicity. Hydraulic lifters that never needed adjustment, a gear-driven oil pump that never failed, a forged crank that could take endless abuse. The block was so strong, racers bored them to 340 size and sprayed nitrous, but in stock form, 300,000 miles without a rebuild was normal. Millions of Dodge trucks and vans used the 318. Police departments, taxi fleets, contractors all trusted it because it started every time, in any weather, no matter the neglect. Even today, you'll find running 318-powered vehicles in junkyards and Craigslist for under $2,000. Not collectible, not flashy, just an honest engine that refuses to quit. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Number 6. Jeep 4.0 Inline-Six. The Jeep 4.0 Inline-Six is the official engine of off-road culture. Introduced in 1987 and discontinued in 2006, Jeep fans are still mad about it because this engine was nearly perfect. It made torque, it was simple, and it was tougher than a coffin nail. The 4.0 started life as AMC's 4.2. Then Jeep modernized it with fuel injection and a stronger cylinder head. The result? 190 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque. But the magic wasn't in the numbers, it was in how that torque hit at low RPM. Perfect for crawling over rocks, hauling loads, and running all day without overheating. Durability was the real secret. The block and head, cast iron, thick and heavy. The bottom end, overbuilt with 7 main bearings, just like the legendary Ford 300. The result was an engine that could take decades of abuse. Hitting 300,000 miles was normal, and many went far beyond, often while being flogged off-road. And the 4.0 could survive almost anything. Skip oil changes? Fine. Run low on coolant? It'll keep going. Hydrolock it in a river crossing? Pull the plugs, crank it out, and drive away. The love runs so deep that in 2024, a company is producing brand new Jeep 4.0 blocks almost 20 years after it went out of production. Number 5. Ford 302 Windsor. The Ford 302 Windsor might be the most versatile V8 ever built. From its debut in 1962 until 2001, Ford dropped this engine into almost everything. Mustangs, F-150s, Broncos, Explorers, Crown Vics, Cougars, Torinos, you name it. The 302 was probably on the option sheet. Why? Because it was bulletproof. Designed as part of the Windsor small block family, the 302 displaced 5 liters but was more compact than many V6s. That small size meant it fit nearly anywhere, but it was anything but weak. The block was cast with thick cylinder walls and heavy-duty main bearing supports, making the bottom end incredibly strong. Racers routinely spun stock 302 blocks to 7,000 RPM without issue, and Ford kept improving it over the years. Carburetors gave way to fuel injection, roller cams and better heads arrived, and of course the legendary 5.0 variant that made Fox body Mustangs icons. Its true toughness showed in fleet duty. Crown Victoria taxis with 302s easily cleared 500,000 miles. Police departments ran them hard in high-speed pursuits. Border Patrol trucks baked them in desert heat, and they just kept running. Today, the aftermarket loves the 302 almost as much as the small block Chevy. Parts are everywhere, upgrades are cheap, and the 302 responds brilliantly to modifications. Number 4. Cummins 6BT 5.9. The Cummins 6BT 5.9 is not a car engine. It's a medium-duty truck engine that Dodge stuffed into a pickup. And it's the main reason people buy old Ram trucks, because this engine is basically indestructible. 1 million miles Cummins trucks aren't rare, they're normal. This is a 5.9-liter inline-six turbo diesel that made between 160 and 235 horsepower depending on the year. But the torque, 400 to 460 pound-feet, with later versions making 550. These engines can be built to make over 1,000 horsepower on stock internals. The rods and pistons are that strong. But most people don't build them for power, they just run them forever. The engine is all iron, block, head, everything. It weighs over 1,000 pounds, but that mass is strength. The injection system is purely mechanical on the good years. No computers, no sensors, just a mechanical injection pump that'll work during a nuclear war. The 12-valve version from 89 to 98 is the legend, dead simple. Sounds like a tractor because it basically is a tractor engine. But the 24-valve version from 98.5 to 2007 is great too. More refined, more powerful, still bulletproof. Either way, you're getting an engine that'll outlive the truck, probably outlive you. Number 3. Chevrolet Small Block 350. Was there any doubt? The Chevrolet Small Block 350 isn't just reliable, it's the reliable engine, the standard by which all others are judged. Introduced in 1967, this 5.7-liter V8 has powered everything from Corvettes to school buses, and it's still available today as a crate engine. That's over 50 years of continuous production and refinement. The 350 began as a bored and stroked version of the 327, itself a descendant of Chevy's original 265 from 1955. By the time the 350 launched, every bug had been worked out. The block was strong enough to handle 4 times its stock output. The rotating assembly was nearly indestructible, and the valve train was simple yet effective. What made the 350 legendary was its ubiquity. GM built millions of them, dropping the 350 into Camaros, Corvettes, trucks, vans, boats, and even industrial equipment. Every mechanic in America knew how to rebuild one, often blindfolded. The durability stories are unmatched. 500,000 miles without a rebuild is common. 750,000 isn't unusual, and 1 million has been achieved more than once. The aftermarket is enormous. You can build a 600 horsepower beast or keep it bone stock and drive it forever. The Chevy 350 isn't fancy, it isn't high-tech. It's honest, overbuilt engineering done right. Quite simply, the greatest V8 ever made. Number 2. Toyota 1UZ-FE. In 1989, Toyota set out to build a luxury car that would embarrass Mercedes and BMW. To do it, they needed a V8 that could last 1 million miles without breaking a sweat. The result? The 1UZ-FE, possibly the most overbuilt engine in automotive history. Toyota started with a clean sheet and an unlimited budget. The block was aluminum with cast iron cylinder liners. The crankshaft and connecting rods were forged steel, and the pistons were forged aluminum. This was Formula One level strength in a luxury sedan engine. The 1UZ-FE had a 4-cam, 32-valve design, but Toyota eliminated every weak point. The timing belt was rated for 100,000 miles, but often lasted twice that. Variable valve timing was simple and reliable. Individual ignition coils replaced the distributor, removing a common failure point. Testing was extreme. Toyota ran engines at redline for hundreds of hours, froze them, baked them, shook them, and then made them even stronger. The result? Lexus LS400 owners routinely hit 400,000 miles without opening the engine. Matt Farah's million-mile Lexus proved it. At 900,000 miles, the 1UZ-FE ran like new, smooth and silent with no smoke, noise, or power loss. The 1UZ-FE powered Lexus models from 1989 to 2000. Today it's beloved for swaps, drifting, forced induction builds, or simply starting every morning and running perfectly forever. Number 1. Toyota 2JZ GTE. The Toyota 2JZ GTE isn't just reliable, it's insanely strong while making crazy power. This 3-liter twin-turbo inline-six came out in 1991 and quickly became legendary. Why? Because it can make 1,000 horsepower and still last 200,000 miles, a combination almost no other engine can match. Stock, the 2JZ made 280 horsepower in the US and 320 in Japan, but nobody keeps these engines stock. The factory bottom can handle 800 horsepower easily. The stock head flows enough for 1,000, and people have pushed the block past 2,000 horsepower. Even at extreme power levels, these engines last. 1,000 horsepower Supras have been driven hard for 20 years and still run perfectly. That's because of smart engineering. Iron block, aluminum head, forged internals, oil squirters for the pistons, and 7 main bearings. Everything done right from the factory. Tuners went wild for the J2Z because it's the perfect engine. Strong, reliable, great airflow, and tons of aftermarket support. You can double the horsepower and not worry about it breaking. A used 2JZ GTE sells for about $15,000, more than many cars, but buyers pay it because they know what they're getting. Insane power, bulletproof reliability, and an engine that will start every morning for decades. The 2JZ GTE isn't just our top engine. It might be the greatest engine ever made. These 12 engines prove that when manufacturers focused on building things right instead of cheap, they created mechanical masterpieces that simply refuse to die. Drop your high-mileage stories in the comments. We love hearing about engines that just keep going. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button and subscribe for more auto content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.